Hello everyone, welcome to the U.S. Immigration News. Since returning to the White House, President Trump has wasted no time in reshaping the nation's immigration landscape. His administration is moving aggressively to implement stricter border controls, expand deportation efforts, and push forward controversial executive orders that challenge long-standing immigration norms. In this video, let's look at today's key developments, from the U.S. immigration updates on Trump's executive orders to the latest surge in ICE raids. We also look at how the administration is handling asylum seekers, refugee admissions, and even birthright citizenship. If you are interested in this topic, please stay tuned until the end of the video. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video and get started. TPS for Venezuelans, terminated by Trump administration. Under the 2023 designation, Temporary Protected Status, TPS, for Venezuelans was a relief measure allowing approximately 350,000 people to live and work in the U.S. without fear of deportation. However, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, under the directive of President Trump, has announced its termination effective April 2, 2025. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem justified this decision by stating that allowing continued TPS contradicts national interest. Critics argue that Venezuela's humanitarian crisis, marked by political instability, economic collapse, and human rights violations, makes it dangerous to send people back. Nonetheless, Trump's approach remains firm: no more extensions, no more special protections. This move aligns with Trump's broader immigration strategy of prioritizing mass deportations and rejecting humanitarian-based relief programs, which he sees as loopholes for illegal immigration. The administration has already signaled that other TPS designations, including those for Haiti and Honduras, could be next on the chopping block. Migrant transfers to Guantanamo Bay, a new detention strategy? In a historic shift, the Trump administration has begun transferring detained migrants to Guantanamo Bay Naval Base. The first group was relocated on February 4, 2025, following an executive order signed on Trump's first day back in office, January 20. The move is part of a larger strategy to deter illegal crossings by placing migrants in offshore detention, similar to Australia's controversial asylum policy. While the administration argues this is a necessary step to process migrants more efficiently, human rights groups warn that using Guantanamo, historically associated with the detention of terrorism suspects, raises serious legal and ethical concerns. Despite the backlash, Trump officials remain steadfast. The president himself defended the decision, stating, "If you come here illegally, you will not be released into the country. We're not running a catch and release scam anymore." This marks a sharp contrast from the Biden-era policies that Trump frequently criticized as being too lenient. ICE raids surge under Trump's orders. If there was any doubt that Trump would ramp up interior immigration enforcement, recent ICE operations make it clear: deportations are back in full force. Between January 25 and January 31, ICE agents carried out one of the largest immigration crackdowns in U.S. history, arresting over 5,800 individuals in a nationwide raid. While Trump officials claim the focus is on violent criminals, reports indicate that many detained were nonviolent migrants with long-standing ties to their communities. These raids are a direct execution of Trump's executive order on strengthening interior enforcement, which removes previous enforcement priorities and essentially makes any undocumented immigrant a target. Notably, DHS Secretary Noem and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth were both present at key raid sites, signaling the administration's hands-on approach. The message from the White House is clear: sanctuary cities will not be tolerated, and law enforcement agencies are being empowered to act without restriction. Asylum restrictions, legal battle ahead. The Trump administration's crackdown on asylum is already facing legal challenges. On January 20, Trump signed an executive order effectively eliminating asylum eligibility for most border crossers. The new rule denies asylum claims based on gang violence, domestic abuse, or LGBTQ+ persecution, categories that were expanded under previous administrations. Immigrant advocacy groups, led by the ACLU, have launched lawsuits arguing that this order violates both U.S. and international refugee laws. However, Trump's legal team is confident that the Supreme Court, now stacked with conservative justices, will uphold the new restrictions. In the meantime, asylum seekers are left in limbo, with many being turned away or forced to wait in dangerous conditions at the U.S.-Mexico border. This policy shift mirrors Trump's previous Remain in Mexico program, which he has expressed interest in reinstating. Visa Bulletin and immigration backlogs, no relief in sight. The February 2025 Visa Bulletin offers little hope for those waiting on legal immigration pathways. Despite promises to clear backlogs, processing delays continue to frustrate applicants. For employment-based green cards, EB2 India moved forward by just 2 weeks, now at October 15, 2012. EB3 China advanced by 1 month, now at July 1, 2020. Family-sponsored categories remain stagnant, especially for Mexico and the Philippines. USCIS has also confirmed that the agency will use final action dates for employment-based adjustments, meaning new I-485 filings will be extremely limited. This slow movement aligns with Trump's policy focus on reducing overall immigration numbers. His administration is prioritizing merit-based immigration and discouraging extended family-based sponsorship, a longtime Republican talking point. Birthright citizenship, Trump's latest challenge to the 14th Amendment. On January 24, President Trump signed an executive order seeking to limit birthright citizenship for U.S.-born children of undocumented immigrants. This policy, effective February 19, 2025, has already been challenged in federal court. Legal experts say this move contradicts the 14th Amendment, which guarantees citizenship to those born on U.S. soil. However, Trump argues that the original framers of the Constitution never intended for birthright citizenship to apply to children of illegal immigrants. The fight over this policy is expected to reach the Supreme Court, where Trump-appointed justices could play a crucial role in determining the outcome. Refugee admissions suspended indefinitely. In another significant shift, the Trump administration has suspended the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program, USRAP, indefinitely. Effective immediately, all pending refugee cases have been halted. The administration is developing a new vetting process aimed at ensuring that new arrivals assimilate into American culture. Trump officials are also pushing for states and localities to have greater control over refugee resettlement, something the previous administration attempted but was struck down in court. With the refugee cap at historic lows, this suspension all but guarantees that the U.S. will accept the fewest refugees in decades. So, in conclusion, from mass deportations to drastic asylum restrictions, President Trump is executing his immigration vision with speed and precision. His administration's message is clear: the era of open borders and leniency is over. However, legal challenges and political opposition will continue to shape the battle over immigration. Whether the courts uphold these policies or strike them down remains to be seen. For now, immigrants, legal advocates, and policymakers alike must prepare for a radically different landscape, one that echoes Trump's first term but with even stronger enforcement mechanisms in place. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. Thank you for visiting us today, and we'll see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to the channel for more U.S. immigration update videos.